All right, Better Academy family, we are back with another Bettercast. Coming at you, I think this is the third week of us doing this.
Episode 3.
And in kind of episode 3, that's right. And so, yeah, we're excited to be here, but we got the normal hosts, the two OGs, Aventus and Onechill.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hey, guys. We also have...
All right, very nice. Yeah, go ahead.
Walrusmaslap and Widow2thicc.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Two of the admins of the Discord kind of hanging out with us tonight. I kind of invited these two guys specifically because we have a lot of cool things going on with the minor league teams we're trying to set up. Mm-hmm. We'll get into that a little bit later, but a little bit of spoiler things to come.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
yeah.
All right, just a little bit of housekeeping before we get started with the overview of the league. The recruitment drive is still going, guys, so please keep it running, keep that word of mouth going. We're growing. We're almost hitting 300 members, which is really big. Our goal is 350 by the time season 2 starts, and we really are on track for that. So that's really good.
For sure.
If you guys are having a hard time recruiting and you really want to kind of help out, one of the easiest things you can do for us is there's a couple posts soliciting upvotes for some Reddit posts. And if we can get a little bit more visibility on some of those posts, that's if we hit the front page of like Overwatch console or looking for team, it'll be really good for us because we'll get a lot of traffic. What else we got on this list here? Season 2 is on the horizon, guys. We're wrapping up, almost done with groups here, and then playoffs soon after that for the first season. So I think there will be a couple more big announcements for that, but we're looking about the end of July to start that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We already have a couple more teams in the making. And if you guys are a little bit lower SR but newer to the Discord, we do have minor teams going. So actually, Walrus, why don't you tell us a little bit about your team?
Yeah, so we started a minor league team for the Fat Shats. It's called the Little Shats. We keep the SR pretty low. We keep it from basically 0 to anywhere below 2,500 because we just feel that we can help the lower SR people with maybe some easier stuff that they might be missing that's keeping them out of like gold or platinum.
Mm-hmm.
We
have
a minor SR team.
Oh, go ahead.
We're kind of the same deal, I know our team had a couple lower SR players, and they're captaining the team now. It's Donshot and Who Want Smoke, but they're doing a really good job heading that up. We're basically the same range. I think right now our highest SR is right under 25, and we have a couple people who are completely new to Overwatch, so we're hoping we can help teach them the game the right way, which is, wow, I think, what'll make us unique.
Awesome.
Oh, that's actually kind of really awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
I
wish
that.
somebody was there to teach me.
Back when I really think this is also a good opportunity for some of the more eager members to reach out to some of your friends that maybe you don't really like to queue up a little bit too much with because they're a little bit lower SR, to help bring them up. I really think there's going to be big improvements on these teams being around Walrus and Widow's leadership, kind of bringing that SR up, some coaching, a lot of fun stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I had a question too about the minor league team, and I guess I'll start with you, Warris. But so, is this kind of like baseball minor league in that like you're kind of constantly evaluating these guys, and if like let's say 3 or 4 months go by,
it's like baseball minor leagues, like they
like how they recruit guys up to the big leagues, right? Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, I mean we're basically training them in our style of play, which
Gotcha.
y'all have seen from some of our VODs of how we play fast and aggressive, and they want to learn that way too, and we're trying our best to learn their style and what's best for them, and just try to make them learn how to play in a group setting like this when people actually communicating. That change from playing by yourself in solo queuing is a pretty big change. So it takes a lot to get used to.
Huge. Okay, cool.
I just think that's also like the cool part of being part of it's not just a league, but it's a community kind of dedicated to helping people get better at this game and making it a little less toxic out there.
Yeah, exactly. Because it can get pretty toxic. And is that the same thing for you guys, Widow? Like you guys are kind of like teaching them, but you could potentially pull them up, to the big team. If they start to kind of show some trends in the right direction.
Right now, I guess I kind of been talking with them, and we're thinking that like maybe the top two on the roster or two people that are picked by the captain will also stay on our main Yeet roster and kind of fill in as we need people, because everyone knows how hard it is to get. It can be tough filling out, even if it's just like quick practice scrims or whatever.
Yeah.
Get them playtime with the big boys.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, cool. Get them that exposure. Okay. Yeah, I think that's great, man. Like I think, like Chill said, that's one of the best parts about being in this, because you can, kind of give back in a sense, and start helping people. Maybe speed up their learning curve, so they don't have to struggle with the same things you struggle with when you were at that SR. So,
Absolutely.
Very cool. Yeah.
All right.
Well, I don't want to steal your thunder, Chill. I see you got some stuff here. Yeah, go ahead.
So did everybody watch the games of the week? Is anyone a little bit behind before we jump on in?
I didn't watch them all, so I'm gonna I'm gonna defer to you guys on the ones I didn't, but I've seen most. So
yeah, I missed the
I watched about 90% of
Ramrod
them.
Salty game, I think it was, but I caught the other three.
I did too.
All right, well, perfect. Then, so I mean, just what were kind of your initial impressions? How do you think week 2 went?
I thought week 2 was better than week 1.
Yeah, I agree. The kind of match of the week for me was Squids and Trash.
Squids always play.
That was just. Game. I know, man. Like another 5 map, 5th map for them. Like that was just, but it was really an awesome week, I think. And you kind of want to see improvement from week 1 to week 2, and I think we saw that. So.
Yeah, the squid looked really good.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, they looked awesome.
Yeah. So the standing as they are now, we have Salty leading up Group A and Fat Chats leading up Group B. I really think these are probably the 2 teams that are kind of guaranteed outs. I think there is a universe where Salty doesn't get in, but it's very unlikely. And there is no universe that
I think
there's
Matt
no way Fat Chats
confirms that
doesn't
they're
get in.
in.
Point.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
You say, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't think even.
I mean, you're on set to 4-0 the whole group.
That's what we're aiming for.
Right.
So, that's going to be interesting. What about, second spot really is the kind of one that's up for grabs right now.
Right.
It's an interesting situation in Group A where if Super Trash Brothers beats Salty Spittoon and Squid Squad beats Ramrod Squad, it's a 3-way tie for first, and we'll have to defer to map differential because each team is going to be 2-1. So these last games, they're really going to want to put as close to a 4-0 as possible, because I think it's going to come down to map differential on at least one of these decisions.
Yeah, for sure. But that's what we want. We want it to be close and competitive. Yeah. A lot of good teams over there.
Yeah, there's going to be one team that doesn't make it that probably should be there. That kind of sucks.
Definitely.
There's those 3 teams, Salty, Squids, and Trash Bros are all 3 awesome teams. I want to play all 3.
Yeah, they really are.
We scrimmed Salty about 2 days before the season started, I think. And we ended up winning 3-2, but watching them play, they look like a completely different team now.
Wow.
It's the amount of progress.
They're obviously try hard.
They really do.
You can tell they're taking this super seriously. They're learning what is the strongest compositions and just sticking to it, and just kind of overwhelming. We're gonna play Bashed on this payload and we're gonna do it right, and you're not gonna be able to counter it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad you said that too, Widow, because I think with the league play, a lot of what drives teams to look better than they did in the scrims. I think it's just the confidence because that first match, I think for them, like really just boosted their confidence and said, hey, I think we belong in the conversation with some of the better teams because, I remember, I forget, I was Primal, I think.
Primal Beast.
In the like post-game interview after they beat Squids, he was saying, like, I heard on the podcast that we were the dark horse and, like they just got really motivated. And then when they won, I think they were like, okay, I think, we found something here and let's just kind of build on that momentum. But, who knows? They could come out and not look the same, this week. But so far, they've looked really good. So
they definitely have a lot of momentum. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. I think that's just big in anything competitive.
Oh, yeah.
Confidence, momentum. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Just matters.
All right, well, so I went down and I watched all the VODs this morning and I wrote down some talking points about each match. So, you guys remember anything? Feel free to chime in. But we're going to start here with Ramrod versus the Salty Spittoon. This was a 4-0 for Salty. Pretty decisive across the board. Diamond Eye was probably the best player standing out. I really think he kind of makes his team play around him, and he makes him kind of puts himself in the pivotal position where the role that has to perform, the Bastion, the Pharah, the Sombra. But each role he was kind of playing for the team. He was doing excellent, and
I gotta commend him for that too.
On Eichenwild,
it's like playing in the carry role per se, and as the captain, I'm assuming he's doing a lot of the shot calling too. Doing both those things at the same time during a game can get really stressful, and things can get crazy really fast. And if you're shot calling, you got to be thinking about the whole team and not just what do I need to do. It's what do we need to do, and you're the one that's responsible for that.
Right.
So good, good for him that he's.
And the team does. Like, when you watch it, does feel like it has a very centralized feel to it. Like, it does look like a team where there is a shot caller in charge of them, and they're making very decisive decisions as a unit.
Yeah, it sounds like he has a lot of trust in his team, which is a pretty big deal. Like, shot calling and just calling out somebody and nothing else, and then that person knowing that that's my job, I need to go take care of that because it just got called, is probably contributing to that, too. That he probably has a really good team around him that understands their jobs and their roles. So when he makes those calls,
right,
they know who needs to go.
Yeah, it's an art to the shot calling for sure.
Oh yeah, so I say word to that dude, Diamond Eye. He's doing a great job leading that team, but also word up to his team for understanding their roles and doing it flawlessly.
Yeah.
So on Eichenwild, the last map there, Ramrod. They've always done this. This is the second or third time I've said this about this team, where they have one map where they look competitive and they're sticking into it. They're losing still, but they're not getting wiped, and they're looking like this team came out to play today. And that was their Eichenwild map. And they switched Ricochet onto Reinhardt, and Homeboy carried as much as he could. He was landing fat shatter after fat shatter on them, but.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't really matter in the end, but it still seems like they tried to make Clockwork work for 3 maps in a row, and it didn't work. So maybe they should have tried a little bit sooner to swap things up.
Yeah, there's a couple of teams that I've noticed with the not switching when it's not working, and they're just like, all right, we're gonna beat the shit out of this comp till it works. And,
right.
I think Ramrod's one of them because the Clockwork thing. Like, if Clockwork doesn't work off the bat, you should probably switch because that just you gotta have presence, like map presence and payload presence or wherever you're setting up. And I think with Ova's the same way too, though. Like with their goats, like sometimes when they're their goats is good, like they're getting better with their goats from what I've seen. But at the same time, if it's not working for what you're going against, you're never gonna win. You gotta be able to flex it around.
They should take away from this, if they're going back and watching the VOD, Ramrod, is just be a little bit smarter about your ult. You would have at least been a little bit competitive in these series if you didn't waste a lot of the ults that you wasted throughout the series, where people were dying and they're throwing big grabs in, and they're throwing big blizzards, and they keep trying to force plays when they're down, and it just doesn't really work.
Right.
And then they have nothing to come back to.
Yeah.
So.
exactly.
Yeah,
Well,
you
and you know, with
for sure.
Ramrod too, I think because I don't remember them doing too many scrims before the season. Like
Yeah.
I think they're, like how we kind of all okay. And I guess still to that point, like I feel like all the other teams, like who are kind of being a little bit more successful, had a lot of scrims before, so they were able to kind of get the kinks out, and they're kind of having to do their growing through the league.
Right.
You know, like they're having to figure out a lot more things than other teams on the fly. But the stuff y'all are saying obviously is contributing to it too. But it's tough, man. Like, cause they are in a very competitive side. Like, they got 3 really beast teams over there.
I think with
So
Ramrod,
it's tough for sure.
If I remember right, I think Ricochet said they're like in real life friends, at least like the original team that joined Better Academy. Because I remember they had a really wide SR spread, which, I mean, they're definitely playing above it. I think they had someone as low as like 1,800 and something at one point, which, they're playing like a pretty cohesive team for having that big of a SR spread.
Considering.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
And like I say every time,
Yeah,
we're the lowest average SR team of the whole league. So they're coming as underdogs across the board. And, like, they do have signs of life here and there. So, I think there's something to work with there. For sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, if they're showing life against those 3 Goliaths on their side of the an A squad, yeah, you've got potential, for sure. There's room to grow. You can end up being a pretty great team if you're holding your own, even with a couple of fights with those teams, because those are all excellent teams.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, so next up, TSU versus Yeet. And this was probably the worst game from a competitive integrity / watchability standpoint, because we had several of these.
Because of all the drops and leaves.
We spent a good portion of the map 5v6ing on King's
You guys
Row.
pulled the draw out of that.
So
Yeah.
we did pull the draw out of it, and I'm very glad that we did. But we even had to switch a man on Route 66. Like one of our guy DC to get
right.
swapped an entirely new person in. So
that was
it was
a
weird
interesting
game.
match to
We
watch.
just had to get through it. Watching it over again, it wasn't a good game. I really don't feel like either of us were playing to our max potential. I think we both kind of were playing mixed rosters that are kind of strung together.
It was rough. We didn't have a captain.
So,
both of our captains were unable to play, so Chief and Editor got a last minute promotion, and he did fine, for calling shots for the first time, kind of giving him like an hour or 2 notice. I mean, he did as well as we could have expected from him.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But
so, I don't know. It came out in the end at 2-1, so I'm happy we won.
I'm sure.
Well, you know what? I think that like one thing that kind of defines Yeet though is Widow's like really creative and kind of quirky like set plays that you're just not expecting, like the Bastion teleporting in the bathroom and just shooting you as soon as you sit on the toilet or something crazy like that. Like, I mean, he just so I think that was missing, like, because that kind of, to me, that's what they're like the Chengdu. Like, you just don't know what you're going to get when you see them.
Right.
And so you just don't know how to prepare. So I think, like, that not being there definitely, like, made it a little easier for us, at least. Because, I think, like I said, that's just kind of something that defines Yeet in my mind,
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So, all right, well, moving right along to Squid Squad versus Super Trash Brothers, probably one of the better games of the week.
The best
did you
game
guys
of
catch
the
this
week.
one?
Yeah,
it was
the best for
The best
sure.
game of the week. Anybody who argues is wrong. That was the funnest game to watch all week.
It was fun.
Master
It
Base
was
Bean
fun.
and Mum Spaghetti are just so fucking scary, man. Like, they're just so consistent.
I like it.
Mum Spaghetti is just
Yeah.
weirdly good at Hanzo. Like
There
you
ain't nothing
feel
weird about it, man. That's beautiful.
it's art.
It's art.
He lands headshots.
Having a deep,
but
you get 4 kills here, and then he gets the 4 kills.
Yeah. He does farm those dragons pretty fast. Like, I mean, yeah, because you have to be doing a lot of DPS and a lot, hitting a lot of heads to farm those dragons as quickly as he does. And that's something like when they have him in the lineup that you always have to be, worried about is like him getting a grab to split the team and potentially win a fight that way. And by the time he gets the second one, King's coming online with a grab, so you better have your support out there to make sure that you can counter the grab dragon. He allows them to do a lot of things for sure.
Having a DPS that can punish a out of position player is such a rare thing to have.
Yes,
and I think that works with them really well. I watched him hold the flank on where are they playing? Horizon. They played Horizon, right? He played Hanzo in Horizon. Or not Horizon. I'm sorry.
I think.
Damn it! What's that fucking map called?
Volskaya.
The payload. No, not Volskaya. It was a payload map. With all the high ground and shit.
Gibraltar.
I forget. Was it Rialto?
Gibraltar? It was Gibraltar.
Gibraltar.
Watch point Gibraltar.
Yeah.
He was holding the right flank with Hanzo, high ground, by himself. And they literally... I watched everyone try and do a flank, and he just held flank by himself with Hanzo. And it was so much fun to watch. Anybody out of
that's
position
huge.
got punished. That's a big thing. That's a huge thing for
that's
DPS
huge.
to be able to do by himself.
Yeah,
It was pretty
not having
badass.
to dedicate a bunch of people. Yeah, that's huge. Yeah.
Yeah, because Super Trash Bros is known for their pretty filthy flanks with their Reapers and their Mays.
Their Trash Bros, their Ana ticking time bomb was on.
Oh my gosh, dude!
Yeah, dude.
He was going
Dirty.
in.
Yoga.
Yeah.
Oh God, what is his name? Yoke.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Andiva was also really solid, landed a lot of really good bombs. But and Chaboy too, also noteworthy. That guy is crazy.
Chaboy popped off, dude.
Is just on that Genji is just one of those. Like you're definitely picking up at least 3 kills on a blade.
Yeah, he carried a couple of team fights I watched. He won it for him for sure. Great Genji.
I have to give a shout out to the quad tank cheese. They pulled out twice to secure.
Yeah, that was fun to watch.
Awesome.
They just rolled it out.
And they said it wasn't planned either. Yeah, they said it wasn't planned at all. Yeah, they were just like, hey, we want a lot of sustain going into this choke, and they just did it and it worked. So I like that.
I don't know.
That's pretty cool.
All right,
I caught that part.
Moira and
Mora Ana, I want to say.
I'm taking notes.
Damn.
For the future.
They ran some big ass heels.
And Mora was getting old.
Yeah, Moira just instantly gets all in that. Last one, Fat versus
seriously.
Yeet. Sorry, I forgot to explain this for those who are a little confused. We had to do some scheduling changes, so that's why Yeet is playing 2 matches this week, and OVA is going to do their 2 matches next week. So technically, Yeet is done with the group stages right now. Fat versus Yeet. What do you guys think?
I
liked it.
Now I didn't watch this one. Widow, were you playing for this one?
It was. I don't know. They came out prepared. We came out in Clockwork on Control. I was expecting to get the mirror, but they came out with the Pharah and were just blasting us right at the choke. And they called it perfectly and they played it just how they should have for that. And that kind of just set the pace for the entire match, I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like the rock paper scissors battle, and they knew what you were gonna throw because they were expecting, like you said, you were expecting the mirror, and I think they were thinking that, and it just came out in something that was kind of designed to give that comp trouble.
Yeah, that's basically.
But yeah, Chill, you probably have more info on me than this.
Well, looking at this game, Yeet held their ults so long on a lot of the points. And I think that really cost them. They had a couple, ult advantages that they just... Either they got too staggered on, or they went up to a fight, and they're just like, nah, we're cool here. And Fat's DPS was super good. They also made a lot of switches, and they were really hard to predict. Like, they never stuck to one thing for too long, which was really big. Their pharmacy and their Sombra is really good. Lexical is also insane on Ana. That guy, he popped off the entire time. He landed like 2 6-man nades throughout the series, like countless 5 and 4-mans. Like, it was just all over the place. No one could ever get healed. You guys never died. That's what I noticed, especially going on, is the tanks would, maybe you guys are going to pick on the DPS, but the tanks would peel back and just pop up 3 seconds later at full health, just ready to roll, and they would slowly win back fights.
So I'll touch on Lexical very, very shortly because I told him he was going to be in this podcast, so I know he's listening to get pumped up because he gets mentioned a lot. He likes being talked about. But Lexical did an absolute phenomenal job. I think after the game, we all agreed that we gave him the MVP for picking up the Ana role and doing it so well. And also what makes him really good, too, not just the fact that he's just good at Ana mechanically, is that his shot calling as a healer was really dead on with who's where, who's low, we need a back, I'm reloading, this guy's anti. Yeah, he was lights out as Ana. We gave him the MVP for sure that game.
Shout out to Blazing. That guy's Ash is actually insane. That guy's Ash.
It is.
Oh my god, it's so annoying. It's so annoying, bro.
Yeah, he's
so annoying.
He's really good.
He tells me he can play other
He's
heroes,
really
but
good
I don't
on it.
really believe him. So I'm just gonna keep putting him on Ash. Like, he said he's emergency breaking goats, but we're just gonna keep him on Ash, I think. I mean,
anybody can play Brig on goats.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Any hit scan, really.
And
Yeah,
Third
no, he
Cousin
is, yeah.
just
Yeah,
wins
he's-
fights with bombs. All the fights I think they could see really big
Magic
were
bombs.
really consistent win were 3-man bombs that he got because he's
yeah,
your third
he's
cousin. That's what he
he's
does.
really good at it. I don't know. He's not I don't know how he does it. I need him to teach me Diva sometime. I can't get the bombs like he does. I don't get it. I swear I
just
put him
about
in
to
the
say.
right spot.
Yeah, I bet that. See, yeah, right? I thought the same shit.
Denial is also just insane. That Doomfist he was playing was fucking super nasty. Ugh, what are you gonna do, man? Those guys are crazy. The DPS are actually insane.
Denial and Pardon are the most, we call them the Bash Bros because they're just the most dynamic duo and they play off each other so well. It is insane. I'm stunned watching it sometimes. We run scrims against each other and I fucking hate going against them when I'm playing tank.
Okay, so on to the MVPs of the week. As kind of foreshadowed a little bit, support's going to Lexical. He definitely deserved it.
Excellent.
I think if you guys watched
For sure.
the Fat versus Yeet match and you just specifically look at what the Ana's doing, it's dirty. So crazy anti-nades, solid Ana. He definitely played the Mercy perfectly too when he had the flex to that.
Mm-hmm.
The tanks didn't die, so he did his job. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Solid mentions, Ticking Time Block from Super Trash Brothers, and Brittany Lynn on Squid Squad for that just popping off quad DPS.
The stall?
Era, just keeping people
The
up.
stall.
Oh man, the stall.
The stall of the
that was
century?
huge. That was
Was that
huge, bro. Match saving.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was her and Q.
Yeah,
that was her and Q
I
son.
didn't forget her
'Cause I
name
think
after
she
watching
started.
that game. She literally saved that
Yeah.
point on Ilios. Her and
Yeah.
whoever was playing
Yeah,
Lucio. Q-Son?
Yeah, Q son. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I know I'd get
Yeah,
it
that
right.
was
I
that
moved
was
them.
nuts, bro. Yeah, I'm sure the comms were just nuts at that point in the match, but yeah, that was huge. That was huge.
For DPS, MVP of the week, Mum Spaghetti for that just insane Hanzo. He was always on the high ground. He just throughout the match he demanded to be answered, and if they didn't handle him, then they would lose the fight. And it just became a bigger and bigger issue as the series went on. And he just kept doing his thing. You give him Hanzo, he pops off. He's a solid Pharah. Pardon from Fat Shads. Always a good Sombra. It's just his
Consistently.
EMPs come up on a 10-second cooldown, it seems.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, it's pretty much like that.
And she's so strong right now too, so that's just a good, character to be good on at this point in the meta.
Absolutely. I wish they'd nerfed the shit out of her.
On the mentions list this week for a definitely solid performance on the DPS role. Genji was super impressive. He definitely is a threat. So the DPS duel was interesting to see, like Chaboy versus Mum Spaghetti and Master Base Bean, but I think there were other things contributing to that too. But I think those are probably the top 3 DPS in the league right now. So things to watch on for the tanks. Derp from Fat Chats. You guys the tank line was just so solid. And I think that you had a really great Rhine, and then when you needed to switch to off tank, you definitely didn't slouch on it either. And the front line played so well. You guys knew exactly when to pull off for heals, when to go aggressive again. And you guys really were like always up winning fights. The tanks and supports.
Yep, I agree. We have good communications with our healers. They're awesome. Everybody's awesome. Fuck it.
Everybody's good.
Everyone's good. I can't say one person's better.
Ricochet from Ramrod. I think that when you switch to Rhine, dude, that's the secret. That's the sauce. That's what you're gonna do in week 3, man. You got to pull it out. You're really good, and your team did a lot better with you on that main tank role. Yelkin third cousin. For just the crazy Diva Bomb performances, we have a couple of just really good Divas that just consistently land like Poco level bombs in the league. So it's been really exciting to watch. Also going to throw in Bucky Gus because he's my boy and it's my podcast.
You just pulled it right there. I like Bucky though. I think he's a fucking awesome ride.
Yeah, Bucky's good, man.
Dude, I like watching Bucky.
And I think he can get better too.
Yeah,
but
you haven't seen us so much better.
I'd love,
I really think,
bro. I would love to go against
TSU is a
Bucky.
Season 2 team. Just watch for us.
Oh, I guarantee it. I can't wait. I want to go against Eddie Zarya with Bucky's Reinhardt with my Zarya, Raving Panda with me on Reinhardt. I think that'd be the funnest shit ever.
Yeah.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, that'd be a match to watch.
Hell yeah.
So I've been chatting for a while, Aventus. Do you want to take for the interview?
Yeah, sure. So, gentlemen, kind of a customary thing we like to do is when we have people on, we will ask you a few questions. And so I'll start with Walrus first, and then for the second question, I'll start with you, Widow. But Walrus, starting with you, what made you want to start the minor teams?
I just really like coaching. I like helping as many people as I can, and I felt that our team had a lot of really, really good players in their dedicated positions. So I felt like we could help people. Like I got a close friend of mine who's in silver who wants to play DPS. Obviously, I can. I've always played tanks, so I can't help him too much. But I was like, man, if you played Reinhardt, I could help you so much. But I knew if we start a minor league team, we could actually help a bunch of silver players, and it also gives I think it helps us too because we have a team to scrim, and we get to play against each other, and we do mixed practices and stuff like that. So some of these players get to go against diamond level players, and they get to play right next to diamond level players. And I think that cross training, doing it like that, getting to like run at that speed and getting used to it, and then playing against it will just ultimately make you better through osmosis and just being used to that play style. And a lot of them, I mean, shout out to my little shats. They look, in the last 2 days of practice, they look like a whole new team from when we first got them. Yeah. Everyone's playing out of their mind.
Okay, cool. What about you, Widow?
I think
what made you want to start the minor team?
Kind of, for us, it's about teaching. Because, like, I noticed, we have, like, I think we had 3 Zen mains on our team. And, you know, you can tell that there's just some differences between the levels. But, I don't know, someone brought it up and asked about starting minor league teams, and I thought that'd be great, you know, because we have all these players. Why not have the higher SR ones helping to teach the lower SR ones, you know, and helping them pull up. So a lot of what we're going to do with it is kind of, my thoughts is having like our supports working with the Yeet minor supports, you know, and helping them work on positioning, mechanics. And like I said, we have a couple people who are new to the game in general, so We'll wait and see how that pans out, but I've played with them a couple of times,
Mm-hmm.
and they're promising. They're definitely willing to learn, and cooperate in a team environment, which really, is the most important thing. Another big thing we have.
Okay, perfect, man.
One last
All right,
thing I gotta throw a
so
shout
second
out is Case. We messaged me, and he's gonna help coach our minor league team. So I'm really looking forward to see what he can bring and help out.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, shout out K-Sweet, my boy K-Sweet.
Yeah,
with the reaching out for this
crossing
the
team lines, to help everyone improve, which is what the whole community is about. I think it's just a great showcase.
Yeah.
I agree.
I really love the
100%.
idea of the minor league teams, just because, like you guys are saying, teaching people, bringing it up, making Overwatch kind of a fun community instead of this super stressful,
toxic.
Yeah, you have to perform or you're just a fucking trash can. And
Yeah, man.
the
I
more we
agree.
grow,
Whoever
I
thought of
think
that idea is
we
probably
do that.
smart and handsome. Probably like the smartest, most handsome guy in the whole Discord who ever thought of that idea.
All right, so moving on. Second question here. So I'll start with you, Widow. So what is your vision for that minor league team? And whatever that vision is, how do you feel like you're working towards that?
I guess when we started the team, I was talking with Donshot, their captain, and ultimately my vision for their team is to help the players acquire the game sense, the mechanic and the teamwork to participate in the main Better Academy League, get up into that SR range and be able to compete, for any team in the league. And I think it's a manageable goal, and I already see a lot of promise out of our guys, so I think once we get some scrims going here with them, we'll get some captains watching, and I'm sure the same thing could happen with the Little Shats, people are popping off, and the best players are going to get into the main league.
Right, exactly. So Walrus, same question for you. What's your vision for the Little Shats, and what do you feel like you guys are doing to work towards that?
I think my vision for the Little Shats is that everyone achieves the goal they're wanting to reach. I mean, if they don't want to join the upper league with us and they just want to try and just get a little bit better at the game to get out of that hard stuck silver, I want to do whatever I can to help them achieve that goal. And if they want to eventually join the Fat Shats or whatever other team, I'll be sure to, help them try to achieve that goal and get noticed out in the I keep calling us the major leagues, whatever, the big league, and hopefully they can get on a team and just achieve their goals. Basically what Widow said, we're just there to help them achieve whatever goals they want to do and just get better at the game.
Yeah, that's great, man. You guys talking about the minor league teams and stuff, like that kind of made me think like maybe after season 1, everybody who's not on a team, like maybe we could do like a weekend of like some just pugs and have like a free agent showcase. And people are feeling like, based on season 1, they, want to add some pieces here or there or strengthen some roles, like could do it based on that. But like I think that the minor league is just kind of working towards that, because it's kind of like I was making a comparison to baseball earlier. Like, you're in AAA and you get called up, if you're performing better, stuff like that. But okay. So last question, going back to you, Walrus. So, do you have any plans for season 2 of the league? Like, are there some things you're kind of like projecting out? Like, hey, we want to try this different, or we want to do, kind of go towards more of this comp, or anything like that?
That's a great question. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Until someone stops us on at least one map, we're probably going to run the same shit.
Hey, that's fair enough. Fair enough. I respect that. What about you, Widow? Anything you're kind of thinking about, like for season 2, and already kind of projecting out things you want to do differently?
Actually, we kind of just recently reworked our practice schedule, so I think everyone will be getting more kind of quality time practicing instead of just running comp and running with 4 other DPS teammates. We picked up a guy with some coaching experience. He's going to help us out. Like, we're going to work with VOD reviews, more like strategy talking. But season 2 for us is going to be a lot of the same, staying pretty hard on the bunker.
Right.
And, making teams hate us is the goal. Besides winning.
Well, you never know. There's a good chance that Rollock is coming. And it might be
I'm against it for the opposite reason of Goats fans, because I like the 3 DPS comps. I don't want them to take that away from me. That's my only complaint about Rollock.
Yeah. That's definitely a good point.
I think it'll be better for the game.
I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence about it.
It will make the game better overall.
I understand why they do want it. I don't really give a shit. I'm going to play it regardless. Let's be honest, guys. We're all going to keep playing it regardless.
There's a huge chance I'm going to play it regardless.
Roll with the punches.
Right. Cool. Well, Chill, I don't know if you have anything else. Those are all the questions.
That's pretty much it, guys. If you guys were interested about being a guest and you already got a hold of me, I didn't ignore you guys. There's been a lot of interest in coming on the podcast, and I like that. I really like that. I want the podcast to have a big community integration and kind of connecting with you guys and engaging. So I love it. Please keep it up. I'm going to get as many people as we can throughout the season onto the podcast. We're probably still going to do it next season. I don't know. I don't want to sign Aventus for anything more, but... I promise you though, if you guys reach out to me, you're on a list and we're making it work.
Yep, 100%. Walrus, anything you want to say before we kind of close it out here?
Not much. Looking forward to playoffs. I really hope we see Squids in playoffs. I want to play them so fucking bad.
Ooh,
they're a great team.
Throwing down the gauntlet.
I think they're an awesome fucking team. Who do I think would win?
No, Aventus.
I think we're gonna fuck.
I asked Aventus.
Oh, okay. If I say, dude,
between Fat and Squids, oh my god, bro, that's so man. You know what?
I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say. Just go ahead and say it. Say it.
No,
I know you're gonna say
okay,
it.
so here. I think that
don't worry about my feelings.
Will have this. No, I think you guys will have the slight advantage in the Ryan matchup. So I'm kind of leaning Fat right now.
I'm gonna give it.
But they're so good too.
I'm gonna give it to the Squids all day.
They're so good too.
Oh, I know you will, Onechill. One day when I listen to this podcast, we'll be the team to beat. One day.
I believe it.
What about you, Widow? Any parting shots, man?
I think. I know you guys are Gosh, Shatz, and Team Solo Walt, but looking at the playoff picture, I gotta cheer for Overforce this week. So I hope you guys are both going down. Probably not going to get invited back.
No. We don't take it personal, man. I get it. I definitely understand. So, well, cool, man. Hey, we like Chill said, man. We really appreciate you guys taking the time to join us because that community involvement is what makes the cast better. And we'll continue to do it as long as you guys keep listening. And if there's things you want to see on the podcast or different subjects you want us to talk about, just let us know. But other than that, thanks for the listens. Please give us a like and a comment, and we will be with you guys next week. And we'll see you in the Discord.
See you guys.